4 years since the Sustainable Development Goals were agreed by the United Nations members in Paris, the world is yet to come up with a clear funding mechanism of the 17 goals. Every year, the world is facing an annual funding deficit of between 2 to 3 trillion US dollars to fast-track the sustainable goals.
We need to introduce innovative financing models that reorients private capital, create new instruments and modalities that strengthen regulatory framework to de-risk investments.
The total investment cost of achieving the SDGs by the year 2030 ranges between 5 and 7 trillion US dollars per year at the global level and between a total of 3.3 and 4.5 trillion US dollars per year in developing countries. Developing economies face the biggest challenge in meeting their SDGs financial obligations. Speaking during the ongoing United Nations General Assembly, President Uhuru Kenyatta has told the UN that it will take innovation and new ideas to fill this funding gap. On Kenya and Somalia maritime dispute, the president reiterated that maritime boundary disputes should not divide countries that have coexisted peacefully for a long time.
All the different disputes that we've had with other countries along our borders and other issues, and we're saying we just want to apply the same to resolve the current impasse that we have with Somalia on the border, because we should not as neighbors be arguing about borders. We should be arguing about how are we going to provide services to our people.
The president has said Kenya will continue to engage with Mogadishu to find an amicable solution to the maritime row. Finally, President Uhuru Kenyatta has delivered his speech to world leaders, calling for concerted efforts to deal with global warming, as well as coming up with innovative ways to finance the Sustainable Development Goals. Now it's up to our leaders to find solutions to these challenges. From New York, I'm O'brien Kimani.